Kumar, our next speaker, founder and principal consultant at DQAI, a distinguished veteran and industry expert. Mr. Kumar has worked across manufacturing, healthcare, garment and textile care, bringing deep knowledge and operational excellence to the table.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have the privilege of introducing Mr. Sundar Bilani, Managing Director, Ramsons Group. Mr. Wilson, can you please come on the stage, please? A huge round of applause. Mr. Bilani, a chartered engineer and university rank holder in mechanical engineering, leads Ramsons Group, India's pioneering manufacturer of industrial laundry and garment finishing equipment. With over 6 decades of innovation, Ramsons has grown from a manufacturer to a complete turnkey solution provider, serving garments, healthcare, hospitality, leather and dry cleaning industries across India and 20 plus countries. Its equipment is ISO and CE certified, supported by the country's largest after-sales network. Mr. Bilani has also driven successful international collaborations with Viet Germany, Xerox UK, Siwung Korea, Steronica Italy and Maxup Spain. His vision is to deliver world-class sustainable solutions made in India, strengthening both domestic industry and global reach. Okay, you had such a wonderful, impressive profile, with your permission, I had to scale it down in the morning and I took your approval as well. But still, it is very, very impressive. So, what do you do for your living? Just tell me that.
So, basically, I'll give you a little brief background. We actually are a 70-year-old company. My dad's name was Ram and we are Ramsons. So, he founded this company in the 40s, 50s. We were an engineering company and then diversified into a product company. I did my pre-grad in Boston and my engineering in Bangalore, RV College. And my brother-in-law used to run a garment company called Gokuldas Exports. He used to own it, Dinesh Hinduja. So he got us into making steam mining equipment and, washing machines for the apparel trade in the 80s. And then we haven't looked back from then. We now make 190 products. I met Mr. Giraj Singh the other day, the Minister of Textiles. And he says, I'm really surprised to know that you're one of the very few in this niche sector to actually make machines in India and export them to over 40 countries. So this is a little brief background, Anerji.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I have read about you and I learned from the net about you. And I could gather that you have a lot of interest in sustainability, So you talk a lot about and you are integrating artificial intelligence in your machines to make your system more sustainable. So how much have you been able to achieve so far and what is your future plans?
So I'll come to your first question. Our entire logo, our mantra of our company has now become sustainable thinking. For us, sustainability, say in the laundry field or in the wet process, as we call it, is how do you reduce water, chemical, or energy, effluent. And all our machines today that we manufacture from the last 15, 20 years are focusing on that. I'll just name few of these equipments. One is like a nebulizer, right? What does a nebulizer do? It basically breaks water and chemicals into atomic particles. That goes into the warp and weft of a garment and creates the effect like a softener or an anti-moisture or anti-stain, whatever you want. But in the process of doing that, it reduces the water and chemical requirement by 90%. So there's hardly any effluent. Effluent also is a cost today. And there's also negligible energy required. So this is one product. The other thing is like, say, we are the biggest manufacturers of ozone, industrial ozone equipment. So we take God's own air, we produce oxygen, O2, then we produce O3 in an ozone generator. That creates the effect on a denim jean or something of ozone. And then when we send it back to the air, which is being sustainable, giving back to Earth what we take from Earth, we convert or we destruct the ozone back into air. So we've used the ozone from the atmosphere. So basically our focus is how do you keep the environment protected? And this has been our thinking from quite some time. which is why it's called sustainable thinking. A small thing, sir, like I could say, all our houses many years back, we used to dry garments on the terrace.
Yes.
Then I said that the biggest energy consumer in a laundry or a wet process is a tumble dryer, is a dryer. So then we started making these conveyor dryers. A person who's making, say, 100,000 jeans in Bangladesh, all the factories now have these conveyor dryers over their factory, which actually reduce the energy requirement of a dryer by 80%. It just goes into the dryer for hand feel. So that's another thing where we focused a lot on sustainability. Now, how we are now doing that with AI is that there are some parameters. Basically, AI works on algorithms. It's a formula. It's like a predetermined data that we've captured and we use into our equipment, right? So in sustainability, like measuring the load, the weight of the garment, or measuring the actual chemicals required, or like how do I make 4.0 technology into 5.0, which is a new industrial revolution. It's a mix between cobots and humans. How is that happening? Is that we are using the AI in our PLCs to actually regulate, like I said, load cells on garment on the equipment. Load cells would determine the actual amount of water you require for sustainability, the actual story. So AI is being used down the line. We are into warehousing. We use AI to actually determine the flow of garments, flow of machine movement, flow of everything. So we actually reduce on logistics. We make fabric inspection machines, to determine all those machines have shade variation cameras. We can determine the defects in a fabric and thereby reduce the extra fabric that's being used. So that's another way I'm using AI for sustainability. So there's a lot of usage and a lot of vision of getting more AI into our equipment, sir. And this is something you were asking about, yeah.
So net sustainability is waste reduction, and that happens due to optimization of processes and all the artificial intelligence. They sense that before it and gives the right kind of message to your machines. So
Exactly. That's 4.0.
That's
5.0 is where I'm actually using a robo for 2-3 reasons. One is for routine jobs or for the same periodic job, something that's happening constantly. I would use a robo where that intelligence is not necessary. And the other reason is like, say, I don't know if you know denim, so there's a thing called PP spray, potassium permanganate spray. Now that's very harmful to the body, right? So what we do early on, I think thousands of people used to spray on a spray booth. We've started making robots do that now. So what happens, they're away from this hazardous area. Plus, it's all AI generated sprays. So we are the first guys to launch robotic spraying systems. Actually at the ITMA exhibition in Singapore, which is one of the biggest textile exhibitions, that's going to be one of our launches. The robo. Like I said, we are using organic dyes, using nebulizing. Early on dyeing, they used to use a lot of water, sir. Now what we're doing, we're using nano for vegetable dyes. In that, 80% of your water is reduction on the organic dyes. So that is through nebulizing, which has never happened in the world before. So we've created a vacuum system, a nitrogen kind of system, and we're nebulizing it through. We're dyeing using this. So that's a different process of dyeing where the effluent really comes down, sir. Yeah. Sorry, sir.
Okay, so that's really great. So we have people who are doing good job. So my next question is, what kind of challenges do you face? Be it people related, be it technology related, be it regulatory related. To carry out your vision, to implement whatever you have decided to implement.
2-3 things, Anil sir. The first thing is that it's I don't know, it's a kind of, I have equipment which are as good, if not better than its European counterparts. Like, in the dry cleaning space, so Suresh knows I used to make ironing tables for him. He's the president of this thing. He has bought for his dry cleaning stores our pressing tables. And he's happy with the quality. He was always a user of international equipment. But there is a mindset, and I go to H&M, Zara, Inditex, American Eagle, Levi's in Europe or in the US. They have this make in India mindset, which I'm finding it a little hurdle to cross. The equipment is as good, if not better, than the European. But there is this whole mindset that a European. So that's one challenge I do face sometimes. So for that, I created an external certification authority like SGS. SGS comes and actually certifies the product through an audit scheme to say that it's as good as like Ozone. I have a European competitor. I actually did an audit to compare both, external audit, and I have the certificate published. It's, so this is a little mindset that I'm trying to get across. But yes, I am using certification. I have another software called the traceability software, where sustainability is measured by directly connecting it to my PLCs. How sustainable are you? Like how much chemical, water, etc. The PLC is actually controlling that. So that software is helping me in the market internationally to tell people that yes, this machine is as sustainable as its European counterpart, and this is my software to prove it. So I'm climbing those mountains, as you call them. These are some challenges that I face. But in terms of technology, sir, really, I don't think we're very far behind. As an Indian producer, I export, like I said, to 40 countries. I have no challenge whatsoever and the product is proving itself. I tell people that you have a Rolls Royce, but is your buyer going to pay you for your Rolls Royce? Because he's going to see the quality of your garment and he's going to see the cost, right? He's not going to say that you got a Rolls Royce. So anyway, this is a mindset that they climb, and I'm trying to challenge that. Yeah.
So I really hope that you overcome that.
Yeah.
And so my last question today is,
Yes, sir.
you see there are a lot of service providers sitting here.
Yeah.
So what would you like to advise them?
No, so I said today is a very competitive world, and return of investment is a very big buzzword. For our products, the ROI is hardly 7 or 8 months. And today, you have to be competitive. And here you have a company that actually gives you a competitive product. So, and then service is a big thing. European products come to our companies for serviceability because the downtime is something nobody can afford. And I cover up European product serviceability also. So here you've got a good product, good engineering, good serviceability, good to go. Thank you.
So you are, in other words, you're saying buy from Ramsons.
Yeah, buy from Make in India. So it's a good product.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Sundarji.